All right, welcome back to the UJ Chevrolet pregame show. Todd Morris with you here on the Bulldog Radio Network, and it's time to sit down with UMS-Wright head football coach Terry Curtis for our pregame interview. And Coach, a tough loss last week to BC Rain. Thought we played well in the first quarter and a half. We were up 21-6, and then all of a sudden the wheels kind of fall off, and 25 unanswered by BC Rain. Final score 31-21. But I think more importantly, now we're 4-3 in the season and 3-2 in the region. And kind of puts us in a big bind there with a group of other teams.
A lot of people.
A lot of people sitting right there with two losses in the region.
Well, we did. You know, we got the ball. We scored. Got the onside kick. Didn't score, but we still had field position. Got a stop. Got another touchdown, and before you know it, I think then they scored to make it 14-6.
Yeah.
And we came right back and answered, and made it 21-6. And really, when you look at it, Todd, we didn't play awful.
No.
They had the first half, I think they had 4 big plays, and the one right before the half that put them half on the last play of the half. Our guy was right there, and I guess you just say an athlete went up over him and caught the ball. It wasn't like he wasn't where he was supposed to be or on top of the guy or just got beat or whatever. And the quarterback made some good throws even on some other ones. One of them, McNeil Mostella, the one on him, he was really on the guy.
Yeah.
And he just threw a really good ball, and one thing led to another, and before you know it, we come in at half and we're down.
Yeah. And then I was getting ready to say, Amari Yelding was the quarterback for BC Rain. 9 of 13 on the night. So I only threw 13 balls all night, but for 235 yards and 4 scores. He was, to say the phrase, he was throwing some dimes.
Yeah.
I mean, and you warned us last week in pregame. I mean, you said he could throw it on the run. And the one play that impressed me was the after they were down 14-0 and coming out of their own end zone, and he threw a beautiful pass on that 84-yard touchdown.
Yeah, and he's of course he's been starting since the 9th grade.
Yeah.
He's a coach's son. They've taken their lumps, as you want to say, but they're good players. Were good, okay when they were 9th graders. They got better sophomores, even better last year, and this year, they're kind of reaping the benefits. The running back's really a good player, and a couple of their defensive linemen have been playing for 4 years, not just 2 or 3 or 1 or whatever. They've been playing that time, but the thing that worried you the most about him really came to fruition in that even when we would put pressure, he would get outside of containment and keep looking down the field. So it let those guys that could really run have time to get across the field.
Right.
And that's kind of what got us. It wasn't that we didn't know it was coming.
Right.
It was just, kind of athletes making plays.
And then you look, I went back and was watching last week, a little bit of last year's game. They dropped those passes last year.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And this year that didn't happen.
No.
And so, once that kind of happened, you could just feel the I don't want to say confidence, that's not right. The momentum just kind of switched a little bit. And then we came out in the second half, struggled offensively a little bit, couldn't move. Joe was kind of running around trying to, I won't say running for his life, but he was running around a lot, then gets injured. To just kind of things just kind of snowballed after that.
Yeah, and in all fairness, there at the end, we had not really done a very good job preparing the backup quarterbacks. We've got a sophomore and a freshman. We've been kind of splitting it with them, and you know yourself, you can't. It's hard to get one guy ready, much less two, and then 3 is even worse. So, we went back and looked at that, and that was, it falls back on me.
Yeah.
Not having a plan for that situation, and because we were still, we were down, I think 7 minutes or 6 minutes to go in the game. I think we were down 10, and we even got down before Joe got hurt there to the 7, and then took the sack, ended up missing a field goal.
Right.
Had 2 touchdowns called back for a hold and a legal man downfield. So it got frustrating as it went on and on and on when your guys were playing hard and they deserve better at that point in time than where they were sitting in the game.
Yeah. Well, give us an update on Joe. How's his injury? What's his status for this week?
Well, he's practiced all week.
Okay, good deal.
You know, unless he's hiding something, he'll be fine tomorrow night.
Citronelle comes to Cooper Stadium this week. Boy, they're playing much better this year than they have in the past. They've got what I always just say when a team's organized, they give us, you know, they can give you trouble, and they've got a plan right now. They beat Williamson last week 14-8. So. And another one of those teams sitting there with 3 region losses right behind us, so they're in the mix. We'll get their best shot this week, I'm sure.
Exactly, they're playing for the same thing. They've got 3 region losses, and you know, if they can win this week, they back in it. If we win, we're still in great shape with 2 losses, and you know, it's a big game for us. And Jason Rowell has gone back to Citronelle and got them believing again, and they've played some good people. Really good, and probably should have won a couple of the ones they didn't win.
Yeah.
So again, a senior quarterback who's been playing for 3 or 4 years, and you know, we've got to go out and we've got to fight and claw and find a way to you know, to make some plays and just to cut down, execute better and not have the penalties or so-called penalties at the bad times.
Right. Here we are with 3 games left in the season. It's hard to believe that we're in that back third of the season already. But all 3 of these games coming up are so important to us from a playoff standpoint, and we can't look ahead at all. Each week it's just like a playoff game.
Well, they are. They're all region games. All 3 of them. Williamson may not be now, but next week with Faith. But yet they could get in if. You got to be ready, and I'm telling you, watching them, they're really good defensively. They've had a hard time scoring, but defensively, they're as good and sound as any of them.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks as we come to the end of the season, which is kind of different for us. It's kind of going back to last year, we were undefeated and all those fun things, and it's just kind of a different feel, I think, this year than it has been in the past.
Well, the kids have had a good week, and we're going to. You know they're going to play hard.
Sure.
And they're going to do everything they can do, and that's all you can ask for them. We just got to make sure as coaches we put them in good positions and to make plays, and you know, and we just need to make a few more maybe than what we've been doing.
There you go. All right, Coach. Thanks for joining us on the UJ Chevrolet pregame show tonight. We always thank you for sitting down with us every week. Good luck tonight, and got to get back into it now. We got to get back into it here in the last part of the season.
Got to go. Got to go.
All right, Coach. Athletic Hall of Fame inductions going on here tonight at UMS-Wright. We'll talk all about each one of those inductees coming up after the break. So this is our last regular season home game for the Bulldogs tonight against Citronelle, so stay tuned. We'll be back with more of the UJ Chevrolet pregame show right here on the Bulldog Radio Network, Sports Talk, 99.5 Mobile, an iHeart radio station.